In today's episode, Michelle asks, what lies ahead for communicators in 2020? It is that time of year, isn't it, where we are looking at prognostications for the year ahead, trends and all that stuff. Look back over the past decade. Look at what happened to communications. In 2010, you got to really think back, 'cause this was a while ago, right? Facebook was still just barely growing. Twitter was 3 years old at that point. YouTube was 5. The social media press release that my friend Todd Deffrin pioneered was 2006, but hadn't been widely adopted yet. It was still kind of a niche thing. Communications was still very much traditional PR with a large number of traditional mainstream outlets and newspapers and stuff, although newspapers by that point were already starting to hurt thanks to things like Craigslist taking away classifieds revenue. The past decade, transition to digital. Social media became the thing for like 2010 to really 2015. And then we saw the collapse of mainstream old media. And then we saw social media become all pay to play. Right? Everything became, hey, you got to spend more money. I was at some client visits recently and watching people spending tens of thousands of dollars to advertise to the people that they already had recruited, right? Doing a lot of Facebook ads and LinkedIn ads and YouTube ads and all these things to their audiences. Digital marketing in many ways has become digital advertising in the past decade, and public relations has suffered mightily under that because, let's be honest, PR has always been a little bit of the redheaded stepchild in the executive suite because of the difficulty with analytics and metrics. That has not improved this decade. Measurement is still a challenge for many public relations practitioners, for many agencies, for many in-house teams. Proving ROI is still very difficult. Those are the easy things that in 2020, and particularly less about the number of the year and more about where we are in the economic cycle. We are in, we started this decade in a massive recession, and it took a good few years to climb out of that and then to have a good long run of growth. That, as all economic trends do, will eventually come to an end. And so in the next decade, we will see a downturn at some point. That's pretty solid. What does that mean for public relations and for communicators? In the year ahead, and in the years ahead, I firmly believe that communicators have to be focused on ownership. The watchword of 2020 is ownership. What do you own? This is true for not just communicators. This is true for marketers. Here at Trust Insights, my CEO, Katie Rivera, and I have been talking a lot about what is our focus for marketing, and it is ownership. How much of the relationship can you own? Think about the words public relations, right? The relationship with the public. How much of that can you own? And by own, I mean have control over, at least some control, right? A whole bunch of people went all in on Facebook this past decade. Like, yeah, Facebook's it. It's going to kill email. It's going to kill websites. You're going to move your business onto Facebook. And then Facebook, of course, said, welcome. Glad you moved here. Now we're changing the rent. We're tripling or quadrupling the rent every year. It is not a surprise to see that companies were like, whoa. He said nothing about the rent going from $100 a month to $1,000 a month. But it did. And so ownership, especially as you move into an economic down cycle, will become vitally important. Think about this. In social media, as we know it today from 2015 onwards, has never been in an economic down cycle. It has always been up, 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 up. Growth, profits, revenue, everything. The last economic down cycle, social media was still mostly a blip on the radar and was kind of one of those things that people were like, oh, it's just a fad, right? And In 2010, that was not an entirely incorrect conclusion. At that time, it was. Now, the growth was, of course, that it did become a form of mainstream communication. The fact that it can interfere with elections is one of those indicators. But in 2020, ownership. Own the relationship as much as you can. And that means email. That means your website. That means private forums. That means anywhere where you are unlikely to have a massive rent change as you grow. Even some things like Slack. It is possible for Slack to just flip and say, guess what? We're not giving away free accounts anymore. So even be thinking about that. Like, do I really own that? You own more of that relationship, certainly. There's no algorithm. There's no competing interests in your Slack channel if you use Slack or Discord or any of those other services like that. But could someone easily change the terms of engagement? The answer is yes. And so even be thinking about that. But for sure, your website, your text messaging system, your email marketing system, those are things that you have ownership over. For communicators, be thinking about moving from broadcasters like, hey, everybody pay attention to me, to, hey, folks who are already loyal to us, what can we do to provide you additional value so that you stay loyal? Own the relationship, own the audience, become more of a community manager, a community curator, a value giver, so that, again, in that downturn, you have touch points closer to the bottom of the funnel where you can say, look, my work makes the life of sales easier. My work makes the life of customer service easier. My work makes marketing's life easier, as opposed to being out on this little island, which is where PR has been for decades, saying, oh no, we're just going to shout really loudly and talk to the media and cold pitch people. There will still be and always be a place for outreach. That's not going to go away, right? It's just a natural thing that we do. But the importance of maintaining and growing your community, I think, has never been greater, given the rent changes and all these rented channels. That's where communicators' focus should be. So that's looking ahead at 2020, looking ahead at an economic downturn, looking ahead at ever spiraling rents on rented land. I've been saying for more than a decade. We've been saying since 2006, don't build on rented land. That's a billboard. Nobody eats at the billboard. People see the billboard and go to the restaurant. Build your restaurant instead. Put your time and your money there. So great question. I could go on for hours on this, but great question. That's what's ahead from my perspective, one person's opinion. Leave your own comments with your perspective in the box below. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Want help solving your company's data analytics and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.